In this tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you how to draft a deep cupped corset that will fit properly and also cover your bust very well. So you don't have to always look for a cup that will fit properly whenever you want to make your corset. You can actually draft yours yourself. And also, I'll be sharing with you how to draft a dartless corset using this cup that we are going to be drafting. It is very simple, detailed, and beginner friendly. So if this looks like what you're really interested in, please watch this video till the end. And if this is your first time on this channel, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, like, share, and also drop a comment. So now we are going to dive into today's tutorial proper. So first, I'm going to go ahead to draft the corset cup before we draft the main bodies. And the first thing I'll go ahead to do is to draw a straight horizontal line, which is going to be serving as the starting point. Next, I'll insert the vertical measurement. The first vertical measurement I'll go ahead to mark is the upper chest line. The upper chest line is where I want the cup to start from. That is how deep you want your cup to be. So for me, I went ahead to mark 7.5. If you want yours deeper, you can mark 8 inch or 8.5, depending on how much cleavage you are willing to show. Next, I'll mark my shoulder to bust point, which is 11 inch. Then I'll go ahead to mark my shoulder to under bust, which is 15 inch. After marking this, I'll mark the same thing on this other side. Then I'll go ahead to draw straight horizontal lines. I'll label this part as the upper chest line. Here is the bust point line. This point here is the under bust line. Next, I'll go ahead to insert half of my bust pan measurement on the upper chest line and also on the under bust line. After which, I'll connect the point together with a straight line. So after drawing the nipple to nipple line, the next thing I'll go ahead to do now is come over to this point. This is going to be the center front. And I'm going to be coming in by 0.5 inch. So this 0.5 inch is the distance between the two busts. When you open it up, you're going to be having 1 inch because the busts are not together. So after marking this, I'll connect the point together with a straight line like this. So next, I'm going to go ahead to take out the darts for the corset we are making. But before doing that, I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch from the bust point mark, and I'll take this 1 inch all the way around like you see me doing in the video. This is to help eliminate any sharp edge on the bust area after the cup is being used. So this is very important when drafting your cup to eliminate sharp edge on the bust area. So the next thing we're going to go ahead to do now is to take out the dart. So for the dart intake, you need the amount of dart to take for your corset. All you need to do is to minus your bust from your under bust measurement. Whatever your bust measurement is, you go ahead to minus your under bust measurement from that. Then you go ahead to divide whatever you get by 8. So the bust measurement I'm working with is 38 inch, while the under bust measurement is 30 inch. When you subtract 30 from 38 inch, you're going to be having 8 inch. Then you go ahead to divide it by 8. And after doing that, I got 1 inch. So I'm going to be marking 1 inch on both sides of my nipple to nipple line. So that will be the dart I'm going to be using for this cup corset. So whatever your bust measurement is, you go ahead to minus your under bust from it and divide the answer by 8 inch to get a perfect cup. I'm going to go ahead to mark the 1 inch on both sides like you see me doing in the video. After which I'll draw the dart leg with the curved part of my ruler like this. So after drawing the dart, this is what you're going to be having. The next we're going to go ahead to do now is to move to the center front. Now at this point, I'll go ahead to mark a dart of 0.75 inch on both sides. So if you are on the plus size, you can go ahead to mark 1 inch on both sides. And if your bust is below 36, you can go ahead to mark 0.5 inch on both sides. So for me, I'll mark 0.75 inch on both sides like this. Then I'll go ahead to draw the dart leg with the curved part of my ruler. So note that the dart is starting from that 1 inch you came out by from the nipple to nipple line. So don't take the dart from the nipple line exactly. Make sure you come out by 1 inch. So once I'm done with the center front, I'm going to go ahead to take the side dart on the bust. So the side bust is always fuller than the center bust. So what you need to do at this point is to take your measurement from the nipple to the side bust. Whatever you get, you're going to mark that. But in the case where you forget to take that measurement on your client, all you need to do is to measure the distance between the bust point and the under bust. Whatever you get, you go ahead to add 1 inch to it. So for me, what I have here is 4 inch. I'll be adding 1 inch to that 4 inch, that is 5 inch. So for my nipple to nipple line, I'm going to go ahead to mark 5 inch like you see me doing in the video. After doing that, I'll go ahead to draw a straight vertical line with my ruler like this. So next, I'm going to go ahead to take out the dart on the side. So on the side, I'll also go ahead to mark 0.75 inch like this on both sides. Then I'll draw the dart leg with the curved part of my ruler like this. So next, we're going to move over to the neckline. So this part depends on how you want it to be. So if you want it straight, then go ahead to maintain the straight line. But if you want a straighter neckline, all you need to do is to come down by 1 inch from the chest line. Then on the side like this, I'll be going up by 0.5 inch on the side. Once I'm done doing that, I'll go ahead to draw the sweetheart neckline with the curved part of my ruler like this. So whatever design you want at the top of the corset cup, you can go ahead to insert that at this point. So after doing the neckline, this is what you're going to be having. So I'll label this part as number 1, number 2, and number 3. And also make sure you draw arrows to indicate which parts you're going to be joining with which part so that you don't make mistake when stitching the cups together. And also I'll be cutting out this that you see me shading. So the next thing we're going to go ahead to quickly do now is to draw the cups for the corset. And to do that, I'll go ahead to connect this dark leg to this point, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. So when drawing the curve on the lower part, make sure that you have a U shape, something like a U shape, so that there will be room for the bust to fit into the cup properly. So I'm just going to go ahead to connect the side dart to the underbust dart with the curved part of my ruler like this. And I'll repeat the same thing on the center front also. So after connecting, this is what you're going to be having. The next thing to do now is to cut it out. So just watch the points where I'm cutting so that you don't make mistake when cutting yours. So after cutting, this is what your cup is going to look like once you're done cutting it. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to close up the dart with my seal tape. So I'll advise you use a masking tape while doing this so that it will be easier for you to take it off when there's a mistake. So you're going to go ahead to cut your seal tape or masking tape into pieces. Then you're going to go ahead to start closing it gradually. So you need to be careful while doing this. If you have a helping hand, you need somebody to help you close the dart while you place the seal tape on it. But for me, I'm alone here, so I'm just trying to do it gradually. So take your time to do it. If you do it the first time and you don't get it right, go ahead to repeat it again and you're going to get it right. So after closing up the darts on the cup, this is what the cup looked like. As you can see, it's deep enough to accommodate the bust and it came out really nice. So this is what you should have once you're done closing up the darts in the cup. So here I'm gonna head to turn it over to the other side, and this is what the cup looked like once I was done closing up the darts. So next I'm going to go ahead to grab the bodies for the process we are making. For the main bodies of the corset, the first thing I'll go ahead to do is to draw a straight horizontal line at the top of my paper, which is going to be serving as the chest line. So I'm going to be drafting both the front and the back of the corset on this paper. This side is going to be the front, while the other one is going to be the back. The next thing to do now is to insert my vertical measurement. So I'll place my tape ruler and mark my shoulder to bust point, which is 11 inch, shoulder to underbust is 15 inch, shoulder to half length is 18 inch, and the full length of the blouse I'm working with is 25 inch. I'll go ahead to mark the same thing on the other side, after which I'll draw straight horizontal lines. So next I'll move over to the shoulder line and I'll insert my shoulder measurement divided by 2, after which I'll come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Then I'll go ahead to insert the armhole depth line with my ruler like you see me doing in the video. So once I'm done doing this, I'll go ahead to mark my neck width. So I'll be working with a neck width of 3.5 inch, but you can insert whatever neck width you want. Then I'll go ahead to draw the shoulder slope. After doing that, I'll divide my armhole depth line into 2. Then I'll come in by 0.75 inch for the front armhole, after which I'll draw the front armhole with my ruler like you see me doing. Next, I'll go ahead to insert my bust measurement divided by 4 on the chest line and mark. After doing that, I'll move over to the waistline. On the waistline, I want the waist to be a little bit snatched, so I'll go ahead to minus 1 inch from my actual waist measurement. So it depends on how snatched you want the waist to be, but I don't want mine to be too tight. That was why I minused 1 inch. So my waist is 30 minus 1 is 29. So I went ahead to divide the 29 into 4, mark the answer on the waistline. Next, I'll move over to the blouse length line and I'll mark my hip measurement divided by 4. After inserting this measurement, I'm going to go ahead to connect the chest line to the waistline using a straight line. Then I'll connect the waistline to the hip line using the curved part of my ruler like you see me doing in the video. So once I'm done doing this, I'm going to be coming up by 2 inch from the side like this because I want the blouse to have a little curve on the hem. Then I'll go ahead to connect that point to the hem of the blouse with the curved part of my ruler like this. Next, I'm going to go ahead to mark my nipple to nipple line. So I'll divide my bust part measurement into 2 and I'll mark it all the way down to the hem of the blouse, after which I'll connect the point together with a straight line. After connecting the point, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to insert my cup. But before I go ahead to insert the cup, I'm going to be coming in by 0.5 inch on the center front. This is the distance between the two balls. So when you open it up, you're going to be having 1 inch. So I'll go in by 0.5 inch like this. And I'll go ahead to connect the 2 points together with a straight line. Once I'm done doing this, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to place the cup on the under bust line, making sure that the line on the cup is aligning with my bust pan line. So you place it in such a way that the line on the cup is aligning with the bust point line you have on the corset, and also make sure that the tip of the corset is at the 0.5 inch you came in by, and also the center line on the cup is aligning with your nipple to nipple line. So I'm just going to go ahead to place it like this, then I'll trace it out. Before I go ahead to trace out the cup, I'll go ahead to keep it in place with my seal tape so it doesn't move while I'm trying to trace out the cup. So make sure that you arrange it properly and it aligns properly with the lines you have on the basic body. So I'm just going to go ahead to secure it, then I'll trace out the cup like you see me doing in the video. So after tracing the cup, this is what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to go ahead to make it more visible with my pencil so you can see it clearly. So after tracing the cup, this is what you're going to be having. The next thing to do now is to draw the neckline for your corset. You can go ahead to draw whatever neckline you want, and this depends on how you want your yoke to be. So for me, I want it to have this kind of queen and neckline. So I went in by 3 inch for the neck width, after which I went ahead to connect it back to the bodice like this. So this is what my neckline is going to look like. So this part is going to be serving as the yoke. So this part depends on how you want the yoke and the neckline of your corset to be. So for me, I want it to be something like this. Next, I'm going to go ahead to draw the boning channels for the corset, and to do that, I'm going to be going in by 1 inch from the center front and mark. Then I'll go ahead to draw the channels in a slant manner like you see me doing in the video. Note that I'm not cutting this channel, I'm just doing this as a guide. When sewing the corset, I'm going to be drawing the same thing on my main fabric. So this depends on how you want your channels to be. So basically, this is what the front block of the corset is going to look like. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to draft the back before I go ahead to cut out the front. So for the back, the first thing I'll be doing for the back is to draw the zipper allowance on the center back. That is for those that will want their corset to have a zipper. So if you are fixing a zipper to your corset, please do not snatch the waist very well so that you don't have issues when fixing the zip. So I'll go ahead to mark a zipper allowance of 1.5 inch on the center back like this, after which I'll draw a straight horizontal line. After doing that, I'll go ahead to extend the chest line, the waistline, and the blouse length line I have on the front to the back like you see me doing in the video. Once I'm done doing this, the next thing I'll go ahead to quickly do now is to insert my shoulder measurement on the shoulder line. So I'll mark half of my shoulder measurement on the shoulder line, then I'll come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, after which I'll insert the armhole depth like you see me doing in the video. Next, I'm also going to go ahead to mark the neck width and insert the shoulders loop. Note that the neck width for both the front and the back is always the same when you are making your dress. Once I'm done doing this, I'll go ahead to insert my bust measurement divided by 4 on the chest line and mark, and on the waist I'll mark my waist measurement divided by 4. So if you did any subtraction, don't forget to do the same thing on the back waistline also. Then on the blouse length line, I'll insert my hip measurement divided by 4, after which I'll connect the sides together with my ruler like you see me doing in the video. Then I'll be going up by 2 inch like I did for the front for the curve on the hem of the blouse, after which I'll connect that point to the hem of the blouse like this. So once I'm done doing this, next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to quickly draw the back armhole for the corset we are making. So next I'm going to go ahead to draw the neckline for the back. So the back is going to be having a high neck because I don't want the back to be as open as the front. So I'll come down by 2 inch and go ahead to draw the back neckline with the curved part of my ruler like you see me doing in the video. So once I'm done doing this, next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to eliminate the zipper bulge on the center back. So I'll go in by 0.5 inch on the waistline, then I'll connect it back to the chest line and also back to the hem. After doing that, I'll also be coming in by 0.5 inch on this part also, and I'll repeat the same thing. So basically this is what the back is going to look like if you want your back to have a zipper. But if you don't want your back to have a zipper, you're going to be drafting the back without a zipper allowance. So I'll just go ahead to fold in zipper allowance like you see me doing in the video. So if you don't want your back to have a zipper, you want it to have a loop, all you need to do is to come in by 1.5 inch to 2 inch on the center back like you see me doing in the video. After which you're going to go ahead to connect the point together with a straight line. So if you want the back to have this slant effect, you can simply go ahead to go in by 3 inch on the upper part and 2 inch on the lower part, depending on how you want the back of the corset to be. So this part here is going to be serving as the yoke of the corset, and you're going to be cutting off this part because you're going to be attaching loops to the back. You're going to go ahead to insert your loop or eyelet to this point you see me marking. So the next you're going to go ahead to do now is to determine how you want the yoke area of the corset to be. So for me, I'll come down by 2 inch from the neck depth and mark. Then I'll be coming in by 4 inch from the center back like this. After which I'm going to go ahead to draw a simple curve on the back like this. So I want the yoke to have this keyword effect at the back of the corset. So this depends on how you want your yoke to be. All you need to do is to be creative at this point. So basically this is what the back yoke for the corset is going to look like. So next I'm going to go ahead to draw the bonding channels for the back. So I'm just going to go ahead to draw straight lines like you see me doing in the video. So basically this is what the back of the corset is going to look like. So here we have the back and here we have the front. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to quickly do now is to cut it out. So after cutting, this is what the front block of the corset is going to look like once you're done cutting. This is what you should have. As you can see, it's already taking shape, and here we have the back block of the corset. This is what your back block is going to look like once you're done cutting it out. So when cutting on your fabric, do not forget to add the necessary allowances when cutting on your fabric, like the side allowances and also 0.5 inch allowances all the way around the cup, and also the basic bodies when cutting on your main fabric. So the next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to show you how to cut the cup. So if I'm making a 3-part corset, all you need to do is to cut through this part first like you see me doing in the video. Then you go ahead to separate the number 2 from the number 3, and when cutting on your fabric, take note of the part so you don't mix it up when you are cutting on your fabric. So basically this is it for this tutorial. So if you find this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and also drop a comment. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my other tutorials.